Tony Khan is making some major changes to AEW. I think they're actually pretty awesome, but we got to talk about it in detail right here on the Ango Show. Yes. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we do got a giveaway at 100,000 subscribers. So if you want a chance to win this championship belt from WWEshop.com, it's a replica belt. And ladies and gentlemen, you have a chance to win. All you got to do is literally just click subscribe. And if you haven't clicked subscribe by now, why? Do you not like being informed in wrestling? Okay, that's up to you. Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about it. Kevin Patrick has finally found a new role after WWE. And I want to talk about this because the IWC and its toxicity, in my opinion, is the reason why Kevin Patrick is not in the WWE. And I find it to be very annoying and very strange and very disappointing at the same time. But Major League Soccer has announced in a press release that Patrick will be joining MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, where Patrick will be hosting MLS 360, which we all know, if you're a fan of soccer in America, or football as they call it globally, you know that MLS is in a very big expansion in the United States with the Apple TV deal. They brought Lionel Messi to the league. Kevin Patrick was obviously working for the MLS while working for the WWE. He loses his job in the WWE. Apple and MLS think this guy is worth keeping full-time, around the clock, 360 days. I love it. I love it. I think he's going to be a great fit there. It sucks that Kevin Patrick is not going to be in the WWE, and it sucks that he's not going to be part of the future of the WWE, and it sucks that he's not going to be involved at all in the WWE. But WWE made that decision to let him go. I found it to be very disappointing, only because Kevin Patrick, if you didn't like him on commentary, he could be doing the same exact stuff that he's doing for the MLS for WWE. I mean, literally look at how he started with the WWE. He was doing interviews and kickoff show panels and stuff like that. I just find it to be very strange and a very weird decision. But this kind of goes to show you, too, with the WWE, that not everybody needs to be in the WWE to be successful, especially if you're one of the broadcast partners, right? Like if you're somebody who is doing broadcast for WWE, that actually gives you a huge opportunity to go pretty much anywhere else. Because if you could do it in the WWE, other sports would. I think it's a lot easier for people to go from WWE to another sport than it is for people from another sport to come into WWE. Like if you watch NBA or NHL or NFL or something like that, I don't think those guys can transition over to wrestling. But I think a lot of people from wrestling can transition over to professional sports. And that's always intriguing to me. But good luck to Kevin Patrick. I liked him. The IWC for some reason didn't, and WWE got rid of him. I thought that was silly, but it is what it is. I want to talk to you guys about Tommy Dreamer. Yeah, I know this is kind of weird. I really don't know what to believe here. I don't know if we should believe Dave Meltzer or not, because this is seemingly being conflicting reports, right? Like this is conflicted reports. Dave Meltzer had reported that Tommy Dreamer is the new head of creative in the promotion. He wrote, regarding the Zoom call following the announcement, Frankie Kazarian was like the voice of reason, just telling people to at least give the new regime a chance. Jordan Grace and Moose in particular were very vocal about this. It was also said not to take that as if Kazarian was mad about it as well, as pretty much everyone was, but we got really vocal about it on the call when the announcement was made. Yeah, I don't know. Look, here's the deal, guys. I have nothing against Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer obviously was working backstage with TNA before. I don't know if he is the head of creative because TNA hasn't announced anything. I don't know if the thing with Dave Meltzer reports, and I know this is going to bother some people, but I think 90% of his content is speculatory, right? When it comes to reporting on things, you're seeing it right now in first, you're seeing it right now with your own eyes. Like the stuff that's being said about The Rock and Cody and Roman and stuff like to me, it just seems like a lot of it is speculatory. Okay. This is not a shot at Dave Meltzer, but at the same time too, this is not something that's been confirmed. There's other people coming out saying that this isn't true. I'm not saying this isn't true. I'm not saying it is true. What I'm saying actually really is that if Tommy Dreamer is the new head of creative for TNA, I actually don't have a problem with that because Tommy Dreamer was part of the previous regime, right? Tommy Dreamer, Gail Kim, like those are two names that have been working with TNA They knew how Scott was doing things. I actually have zero problem with them doing things because I liked what they were doing previously. Now, with that being said, it doesn't really make sense for Anthem to replace Scott D'Amore and then keep people from his previous regime to replace him as a writer. It just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of fluff or a lot of weird stuff being talked about when it comes to Scott D'Amore being fired. I don't necessarily understand it at all. And truth be told, I think for Anthem, the best thing to do would just bring Scott D'Amore back. I don't get the idea of this, but you need people who understand wrestling to run a wrestling company. That's it. Simple as that. Simple as that. I find it to be a very strange decision. If Tommy Dreamer's head of creative, I'm fine with it because he was part of the regime. But the whole thing with Scott D'Amore being fired, it will never make sense to me. And if Tommy Dreamer isn't the head of creative, if Tommy Dreamer isn't contributing to creative at all, then they need to figure something out because the previous regime was working. I don't know what's going to happen with the new regime. We'll have to wait and find out. Guys, a couple changes happening to AEW. First and foremost, Tony Khan did reveal that they will introduce a new stage design after Revolution. The first Wednesday after Revolution, there will be a new stage. That's not really groundbreaking news, but I do like the idea of a new stage. I think AEW is trying to go back to their previous way of doing things. It's very clear if you watch the product, they've made a lot of positive changes. But today, Dave Meltzer is talking about something with AEW. Now, it's interesting because when Dave Meltzer talks about WWE or TNA or other things in wrestling, sometimes I do get the feeling that he is being speculatory, right? I feel like sometimes he's just kind of assuming things or he's being told things that aren't necessarily accurate. When Dave Meltzer talks about AEW, it is very clear that he's nailing a lot of this stuff. But he says that the AEW deal with CMLL is that on any TV show that CMLL talent appear on, no other Mexican wrestlers can appear. Doesn't matter if they work for AAA or not, or did in the past. No other Mexican wrestlers can appear. Some of the prior Mexican talent is mad that Tony Khan agreed to those terms, noting that AAA never made a demand like that. Now, Tony Khan has made this agreement with CMLL, and obviously they have a partnership. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love the partnership. I really do love the partnership with CMLL. I love the partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't think it helps the business, but as a fan, just me observing wrestling, right? To me, I enjoy the idea of other promotions working together. It was one of the big things that I liked about TNA a long time ago. And obviously I would love to see more stuff happen there, but CMLL not allowing other Mexican wrestlers to be on TV, regardless if they've been on AAA or not, is very mind-boggling to me that Tony Khan would accept that. Now, morale is obviously really good in AEW right now, but there are people who are frustrated. Now, let me make this very clear, because as much as I like this for myself, I know a lot of you, I've already exposed a lot of people for this. You will see a headline or you will see the first 30 seconds of a clip. You'll never seek further context. As much as I love this for myself as a fan of wrestling, there are a ton of wrestlers that I don't get to see in AEW because other people are taking up TV time from them. These per appearance deals are hurting people in AEW. So here's what I would say. AEW has 5 hours of TV time a week, plus they have Ring of Honor. If you're going to do things with AAA or CMLL, and then there's rules where Mexican talent on your promotion cannot be on the same show as them, then it tells me that there is a very big issue with distributing X amount of talent on TV each week. And I think to solve that problem, the best thing AEW could do is to collectively and, amicably agree to release talent. If there are talent who don't want to be there, maybe they want to go to TNA or WWE or New Japan or whatever else it may be. If they don't feel like they're being utilized well in AEW, then I feel like AEW should allow them the opportunity to go. There is too many people on this roster to get people on TV, and the reality is having these partnerships where now there's limitations as far as who you could put on TV, that hurts the product. I think that's a no-brainer. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if talent don't want to be there, then you should let them go. And if talent are completely fine with this, and if they're like, hey, I love it, it's cool, it's no problem, then awesome, it's not an issue. Simple as that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Ango Show. Thanks for watching.